Welcome back to Donganronpa. I'm a little late. I'm still a little tired. But here I am. We're going to jump into it again. I promise I will get to Resident Evil again. I just want to do a full session, but I'm having difficulties adjusting now that I'm not doing so much work in my real job. So, let's jump into Danganronpa. Okay, he has nothing to say. Another hammer? Now it's just this hammer 4? Oh, hold on. I can't even hear myself. Now it's just hammer number 4, and it's even bigger than before? Is that suspicious individual responsible for killing Taka, too? The floor is covered in Taka's dying blood. No one wants to talk to me. Toko! Don't tell me Toko, too. Relax, she just passed out when she saw the blood. The blood? Oh, that's right. When Toko is, Toko, she has a fear of blood, huh? We've tried everything to get her to wake up, but no luck. Just leave her there for now. It's like he said, I should just leave her alone for now.
However...
But why is it Justice Hammer 4? Huh? What do you mean? Celeste was attacked with Justice Hammer number 1, then Hifumi was attacked with Justice Hammer number 2, but this time it was Justice Hammer number 4. What happened to number 3? What's the matter? Well, you mentioned Justice Hammer number 3, you just reminded me.
What?
Out with it. Do you know something? Actually, Taka's not the only one who's been killed. Hifumi died too. What?
Hey!
Hifumi's been killed? Yeah.
I see.
Which is why you came to get us. Then we better go check it out. Of course, come on. So Soraka, Bakura, and I rushed out to the physics lab. Bakura, it's not Bakura. I think there's a Dragon Ball character. But as soon as we were out of the physics lab, Celeste, aren't you supposed to be waiting in the nurse's office? So something has came up. Yeah, I heard Hifumi is dead, right? Well, that is not all. It is gone. Huh? What's gone? It has disappeared. Disappeared? Hifumi's body has disappeared. What?
What did you say?
What are you talking about? It disappeared. Don't be ridiculous.
Come on.
Are you serious?
What?
What the heck is happening here?
Hey!
Everybody, back to the nurse's station. I practically leapt down the stairs, nearly losing my balance. I reached the nurse's office completely out of breath. I couldn't believe my eyes. Hifumi's body was there just a few minutes earlier. It just disappeared? Me and Celeste went to the bathroom, but we were only gone for like a minute. And then when we got back, this must be the work of the culprit. They must have come and carried the body away. They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around frightened and confused. We're all gonna die here. We're all gonna die here just like those guys.
What
I don't
did you
believe
say?
this. I don't believe a body would just disappear.
Why?
First, there were 2 murders, and now one of the bodies has been taken? This is, unnatural. Hold on. What do you mean, 2 murders?
Hina.
Taka's been killed. We found him in the equipment room.
No way!
It can't be. Taka too? It can't be. It can't be.
Hina.
Hina, calm down. We're all gonna die, all of us. They're gonna kill all of us. Then who might be the next target be? Toko? Huh?
What?
I completely forgot. She's still unconscious in the equipment room.
Well,
You left her at the scene of the crime? We didn't have a choice. She passed out and she refused to wake up.
huh?
So she is still unconscious? Wait, so you knew she was still up there and she said nothing? Why? That annoying little insect that cling to me wherever I go, we'd be better off without her.
Bastard!
Calm down, you forgot about her, didn't you? You have no right to blame me. Everyone stop fighting. Right now we need to hurry back. I can't take this anymore. I don't want anyone else to die.
Damn.
Bakura, if something happens to Toko, I'll never forgive you. We shot out to the nurse's office and bolted up the stairs, heading back to the 3rd floor. We ran back to the equipment room at full speed, and when we got there... Toko. Thank God you're okay. But right away I noticed there was something very different here. It was gone. Taka's body, which should have been right there, had disappeared. This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something? No, it's not a hallucination. I know I saw it before, and what I am seeing now isn't what I saw before.
Huh?
What are you saying? Taka disappeared too?
Stop talking.
Stop saying disappeared. It didn't just vanish into thin air. Obviously, whoever did this was hiding the body. But why would they do that? I couldn't possibly begin to imagine. Anyway, our costume suspect is clearly continuing his crime spree. We gotta hurry up and catch him before he kills all of us.
Not possible.
Oh, I don't think you have to worry about that.
Huh?
Think about it. Who could possibly be responsible for killing and hiding these dead bodies?
Well,
When Hufumi's death cry went up, everyone here was together on the 3rd floor.
it is so.
After that, we split up into 2 groups. And now this time you all came here as a group from the nurse's office. In other words, the only one who could have done this are Hiro and Kyoko, who are still missing. Hold on a second. Kyoko has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. There is no question that she was in the dining hall with us. Huh. You seem very adamant about defending her. Perhaps you are in love? That's not it at all.
That's fine.
Anyways, yes, I do accept Kyoko's alibi.
Let's see.
Which means the suspicious individual we're looking for can be none other than Hiro. Which further means there will be no more murdering. The regulations are very clear about that. Oh, that's right. There are rules that say you can only kill a maximum of 2 people.
That's right.
As long as the rule is in place, there will not be a 3rd murder. If they were to break that rule, I mince ya without a second thought. Mince ya, grind up, turn ya into paste. By the way, did you know that fish paste can also refer to shellfish, like shrimp or crabs? Indeed.
Let's see.
So, since 2 people have been killed, there is no possibility of any more.
Perhaps.
You knew that from the beginning, didn't you, Bakura? Which means you knew Toko was never in danger. I still meant it when I said we'd be better off without her, though.
In other words.
Anyways, with that in mind, we can now relax and search for the 2 missing bodies. The 2 missing bodies? 2 people have been killed, and their bodies have been hidden. The only one without an alibi, the only one who could have done it is Hiro. But is he really the killer? And what about Kyoko? If she's not involved in this case, where did she go?
What?
Hey, Makoto, what is the matter? Oh, nothing. Whatever. We need to find those bodies, or our little narrative here can't move forward.
So then.
Very well, then let's split up and begin searching. But there is no need to be afraid. No more murder will take place during the case.
'Cause
I know that. I mean, I think I do, but if you're still nervous, I'll come with you. Okay, thank you. No need to thank me. Then let's get moving. Y'all, yell out if you find anything. I didn't think he'd say y'all. He doesn't seem like the type of person to say y'all. Bakura left the equipment room, followed by the others. I have to try and find the the 2 missing bodies. Okay. Where to start? We'll just go through all the rooms. We've already went to the physics room because that's the first room. Hi. Huh? The door must be locked. Where could 2 dead bodies have disappeared to? Good question.
Damn.
We need to search for the bodies that have disappeared. What happens after that? Next room would be... Oh wait, I think I'm going backwards. Yep, this is physics room. Whoops. Nope, nothing here. Other than the hammer. Okay, I apparently went in the same room. I thought I crossed the hall, but okay, whatever. Rec room. So why... I come out like halfway across the... Whatever game. Nope. And nope. Whoa, it scared me. Makoto,
Come on.
why are you just standing there? We need to get to the respiratory. Huh? You mean...
Indeed.
I found them. Hifumi and Taka's body had both been hidden in their repository.
Goodbye.
I've already told Hina and Sakura we'll go on ahead. Their bodies were in the repository? Repository. Okay, whatever you say. Which I believe was actually where Hina and Sakura was, wasn't it? Like they were standing in front of it. Are the bodies here somewhere? Up ahead is the repository. The doorknob turned. I guess it's unlocked. Then I had no choice but to go inside. So I opened the door, and when I entered, I saw... the 2 bodies that had disappeared were right there. The smell of blood made me gag. What I saw before my eyes was unquestionable, unavoidable, unwavering reality. And then I heard the announcement for the second time.
A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
And so here we are. Without further ado, let me give you all the next Monokuma file. I was gonna hand them out when you found the body the first time, but I thought something might happen. It was really hard to resist, but turns out I was right. Just hand it over already. Now make sure to investigate with all your mental might and prepare for the class trial. Okay, see ya later. Well then, now that we've found the bodies, all that's left to do is uncover the culprit.
What the heck?
Hold on. How can you be so calm? I mean, they're dead, you know.
That's terrible.
Dead, gone forever. They're never coming back. Awful. This is just all too awful. Hina suddenly burst into tears. She clutched at Hifumi's lifeless body.
Who would do this? Why? Why?
Large wet tears fell from her eyes. The tears landed on Hifumi's cheek. If this were some kind of make-believe, that might have been able to open Hifumi's eyes. But this wasn't a movie. This wasn't...
He's alive again?
Where am I?
Cold. So cold. Is winter coming?
Hifumi! Wake up!
Huh? That's right. I remember now. Hope's Peak.
Come on, you gotta wake up!
I remember everything before I met you all. I met you all.
His memories are all blending together. He has nothing useful to offer us.
The light. It's reaching out to me like the tail of a comet.
Hey, Hifumi! Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you?
Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name. Yasu. Hiro.
His eyes closed, and they never opened again. Death for the second time. Absolutely undeniable death. No matter how many more of Hina's tears splashed his face, there was no second miracle. Reality set in again. This isn't some stereotypical fantasy world. Tears can't restore a person's vitals.
Honestly.
You have no tears, do you? No blood in your veins? No calcium in your bones? At least you have your meat.
Stop talking.
You're just angry. Going out of your way to return just to leave us with those unnecessary dying words. Now this game has become excruciating boring. He said Yasuhiro, right?
Then perhaps...
Yasuhiro Hakakura? That is the only person he could have been referring to.
So in other words...
And with that, the case is solved. Assaulting people and even killing Taka and Hifumi, and then going so far to hide their bodies? A criminal that hides his face behind a mask and uses a bunch of giant wooden hammers. Is that what Hiro is?
What is this?
If it's true, then I can't forgive him. No way can I ever forgive him. To kill two of our friends? Anyway, it's about time we track down the culprit in our little life or death game here. Although, this time, it's not all that life or death. The trial will conclude without much trouble.
Indeed.
Yes, it does look that way. It's going to begin again. We have to go through this one more time. I have to accept it. I have no choice but to go through with this to make sure everyone survives. I just have to do it. Finally. First, I'd like to check out the Monokuma file. The victims were Hifumi and Taka. I'm going to call him just Taka because I'm so sick of these names I can't read. The cause of death for each was a blow to the head. It is thought that they were both killed with a similar weapon. That's it.
Very strange.
Yeah, it's pretty strange. We got way less information this time than before. That is no problem. After all, the events of this case unfolded before our very eyes. We should know more about what happened than the Monokuma file could anyways. Maybe.
Well,
There's something else that's bothering me. Someone else has been missing for quite a while. Are you talking about Kyoko? Without a doubt, she has an alibi when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. But what if the killer wasn't acting alone? What if they had an accomplice? An accomplice? An accomplice? What are you doing here? Don't be rude. I'm here to answer your question. What question?
Yep.
You're talking about accomplices, right? I'm pretty sure I explained it before, didn't I, during the first class trial?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
so you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
In other words,
So basically, you can be an accomplice if you want, but there's no gratification in it.
so then.
So are you saying nobody worked together this time either?
Hey!
Sorry, can't answer that. It would obstruct the free exchange of information between you guys. I just want to make sure you didn't forget, no matter how much you might assist in a murder, only one black can graduate. An accomplice gets nothing.
So, in other words...
Then we only need to figure out who that one Blacken is that did the killing, right? Just like normal.
Well,
Okay. Let me take this opportunity to clarify the whole shebang. In this class trial, what you need to determine is the one true Blacken who devised the murder plot and put it into action. The true Blacken. So just one person?
well now.
That's enough for explainifying. Now, it's down to the final battle between all of you and the Blacken. Good luck to all the contestants. So there can only be one Blacken, an accomplice wouldn't benefit. Then I can't see any way Kyoko could have been connected to this case after all. You may be right. If that's true, then Kyoko, where are you?
However,
As long as she's not connected to the case, it doesn't matter. Let's go back to the investigation. I have absolutely no doubt that Hiro is responsible. But for the time being, I suppose it can't hurt to pursue further information.
So,
You know, don't you think we should consider a certain person as a suspect just in case? I'm talking about the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack. What? I'm offended. When did you... I've been looking all over for you, Master. When I woke up, you were nowhere to be found. Anyways, you there, milk sack swimming woman. Milk sack? Why do I gotta be a suspect? Well, I mean, you are a serial killer. So what? I'm like a special guest suspect every time. I have an alibi, you know. She's right about that. When we heard Hifumi scream, she was with me. And when the bodies disappeared, she was still lying unconscious in the equipment room. Plus, Taka's bodies aside, I can't imagine any way she would have been able to move Hifumi's body.
Yep.
Besides, I calculated every move I make. I'm not gonna kill someone when everyone knows what I look like. They don't call me the murderous fiend for nothing.
What are you saying?
That's not the kind of thing you should be bragging about.
Let's see.
On another topic, should we post a guard by the bodies like before? We can't have them disappearing again.
so then.
Hina and I can handle that. You don't mind, do you, Hina? Sure, I'd be totally useless on this investigation anyways.
It's all clear now.
Then that's that. Let's begin. This whole thing is so strange. All but one of us has an alibi, so figuring out who did it should be obvious, right? But maybe it's just me, but I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as it seems. Hifumi's big, cold body is laying on the floor. His really big body. I mean, how on earth was the killer able to move someone so big? From the nurse's office where he was discovered to here in the repository. All the way from the first floor to the third floor, and all without anyone noticing it? How the hell? It's no good, I just don't get it. I can think about it later. For now, I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. If I remember correctly, Hifumi's fatal injury was also a blow to the head. Probably from Justice Hammer number 3, which was lying on the floor in the nurse's office. Huh? Wait. Something's off about the body. Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body right now. That's it, his glasses. When his body in the was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But now they're completely clean. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? But who would do that and why? Taka, he'll never move again. According to the Monokuma file, Taka died from a blow to the head. We found Justice Hammer number 4 near his body in the equipment room. Is that what was used to kill him? And there's a tarp laid out under his body. Did the killer use that to move Taka's body? That way there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body was moved. It's a dolly. It doesn't have a handle. I saw this in the art room before. I guess it's used to move statues around. It's kind of weird, but if you bend down, it's not too hard to use. Huh, but wait. Wasn't this in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? And look at the wheels. There's a blood stain on it. So there's blood on the wheels of the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the respiratory. What's the explanation for this? Oh.
So,
Hey, Makoto, I've been thinking about something. It's about the repository. Huh? What is it? After Hifumi and Taka's bodies disappeared, we split up to look around, right? I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together.
but
And we came right to the repository to, look around. But when we got here, the repository was locked. We couldn't get inside. Yes, that's very true. I remember that. It was locked. And we came here as soon as the search started, so there's no way someone could have beat us here. So if that's true, then who locked it, and why is it unlocked now? I wondered the same thing. The door was locked when the search for the bodies began, but now it's wide open. There might be some secret lurking in there, but I'll probably have to leave this area to figure that out. There are many aspects to this incident this time, too many to be honest, considering that it may be good to look back on everything that happened.
So then.
Would you like me to help? Well, if you got a clue. I'm not gonna read all this because I know what happened. Yes, he got stolen by the robot. Uh-huh. Yes. Oh man, I really shouldn't have said yes. Yes. I was just there. No, I don't ever want to look back on the case again. Bakura, do you think Hiro really did it? I don't see how anyone else could think otherwise. When the attacks and murders and the disappearance all happened, every one of us had an alibi. And the last thing Hifumi said when he died, yeah, he said Hiro's name.
In other words,
Then there is no room to suspect any other individual. Okay, but if he did do it, why would he hide his identity with that weird costume? Maybe he thought that no matter what happened, he'd be safe as long as his face was covered? Because he's the fool of the century, you see? I mean, he is kind of dumb, but do you really think that's enough to explain it? I feel like there's a clue hidden in there somewhere.
what?
And is that it? That's all that bothers you about this case? Well, no, there are a few other things. Like, why did the killer try to hide the bodies? They probably figured that if we couldn't find the bodies, we couldn't complete the investigation. But if that's the case, we found the bodies pretty easily, didn't we? Again, it comes back to the fact that the culprit was a moron. If that really all there is to it. The other thing that bothers me is, why do you bother killing two people? Because all the rules says if you can kill someone and get away with it, you graduate, right? But if you're a killer, your number one priority is not getting caught. But killing two people means more clues, more chances you'll be found out.
I see.
Hold on, perhaps? I see. So that's what that means. Is everything okay?
That's enough.
Don't talk to me as if we're friends, huh? Well, what's with the attitude? But you have my appreciation.
Goodbye.
Thanks to you, I might have some fun with this after all. His mysterious words hung in the air as he left the respiratory. He talked as if he had figured something out. But if he did, would it have killed him to tell me what it was? Am I done here? Okay. There's definitely a lock on the door, but it can only be locked from the inside of the repository. I don't see any way to lock it from the art room. The door can only be locked from the inside the repository, which makes me wonder. Hina and Sakura confirmed that the door was locked after we started looking for the missing bodies. And the door is designed so that it can only be locked from the inside the repository. In other words, when Hina checked it out, someone had already gone into the repository and locked the door. When they were done, they unlocked it and left, which is why it's unlocked now. But Hina claimed that there is no way someone could have beaten them to the repository. So that's certain someone. There are hammers all different sizes hanging on the wall, although some of them are more like mallets. Mallets? Could the Justice Hammers have been designed using these as a model? Either way, all the hammers where hair are have obviously been seen a lot of use. They're all covered in debris and chalky stone powder. Wait, for some reason, this one hammer isn't dirty at all, and it's wet. Did something wash it recently? There's gotta be a clue around here somewhere. Maybe I should check around somewhere else. There are some places I already know about. First, the nurse's office where Hifumi was found, then the equipment room where Ataka was found. Well, the closest one would be the equipment room. Oh, hi. You. I was sleeping right here when the killer carried the body away. I'm super pissed I missed such an ultimately rare event. These tarps. I feel like I've seen them somewhere before, and just recently too. Yeah, you did. There's some kind of tire marks going through the pool of blood in the middle of the room. That reminds me about the dolly in the repository. There was blood on the tires. Could that blood have come from here? Which could mean that Taka's body was moved from the equipment room to the repository using the dolly. Both rooms are on the 3rd floor, so that should definitely have been a possibility. Even if the dolly was used to move Taka's body, what about Hifumi's? Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office on the 1st floor. Even with the dolly, there's no way to get it up to the 3rd floor. There's still a total mystery. Justice Hammer 4, the weapon that was used to kill Taka. The body was moved, but the murder weapon was just left here? Is there anything else other than my killer friend over there? I don't... This isn't important to the case. I just need to forget about it. Okay, you say so. You say so. Okay, was that it then? Okay. Nurse's office. I gotta find stairs. Where's the stairs? Art. Rec room. Stairs. Okay. Library. Bathrooms. Is it down one more floor? Where the heck is the nurse's office? I know you said it like 3 times, but I was not paying attention. Equipment room. Nope. Don't want to go there. Nope. It is on the 1st floor. Okay. Justice Hammer 3, the one that was used to kill Hifumi. Someone moved the body but left the weapon behind? It's just a normal trash can. Huh? Wait, there's something inside. It's too small to be a handkerchief. It's a glass cleaning cloth? And it's got some kind of cartoon character on it. Ugh, but it's covered in blood.
Oh,
Ah, did you find something? Yeah, was this clean cloth in the trash can.
Huh?
A cleaning cloth. And it's all bloody. Whoever this belonged to must have used it to wipe up some blood. But who would need to do something like that? I haven't the slightest idea. Yeah, me either, but I think it might be important. What are you investigating, Celeste? I'm not investigating anything precisely speaking. I am simply going around seeing if Hero might be hiding somewhere. What about you? Oh, you know, I'm just checking this and that. The main thing on my mind is how someone could have moved Hifumi's body.
let's see.
How Hifumi was moved, huh? When it disappeared, you were supposed to be in the nurse's office, right?
Yes,
Correct.
indeed.
Hina was not feeling well, so I stayed behind to look after her. But she seemed to be getting worse, so I took her to the bathroom. And when you got back, the body was gone. We could have not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. Yeah, Hina said the same thing. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time?
Indeed.
It would seem so. To carry off someone as big as Hifumi if in only a couple of minutes is, I can't think of it anything less than impossible. Okay. Is that it? Where else am I supposed to go? Oh, hi. So this is where you were. I've been looking for you. You have? I wanted to thank you for what you did. Not that you meant to, but you ended up making this little game of ours very interesting indeed. You should go to Hero's room. Oh, and let me give you this. This is the note Hero wrote to get us all to meet up, right? You remember well. Well, the penmanship was pretty remarkable, so it left an impression. Anyways, this makes it clear, right? This is a trap. What is? Things grow even more exciting. What are you talking about? I've already repaid my debt. I don't owe you any more explanation.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. I'm a tool. So he said to go to Hero's room, but what's waiting for me there? I guess I'll go check out Hero's room. I gotta go down the hall. Despair Hotel. Nope. Chihiro, Celeste, Leon. Oh wait, that was him. The door is unlocked. I guess I can go inside? Bakura did say to go look. It might not be a great idea, but I'm going to take the plunge. This is Hiro's room. There's all kinds of weird things in here. Where'd he get it all from? More importantly, he still hasn't turned up, which means he can't really complain if I don't get his permission to search his room. I think there's something in the cardboard box. It's a blueprint for something, and something made out of, it looks like cardboard, plastic, and plaster? Is this Robo Justice? And it's in Hero's room. But wait, these blueprints. Something about them bothers me. Anything else? No, I didn't want to leave the area. Okay, never mind. I don't want to go that way. His bed? It's a normal bed, pretty much just like the one in my room. I silently checked the bathroom. There's nothing in here. It's pretty groggy, though. How does a bathroom even get this dirty? I think that's it then, because I checked everything else. Okay. Makoto, big news, big news. What's wrong? We found Kyoko. What? Is she okay? Where is she? Wait, I wasn't done. There's more big news.
Just a second.
Robo Justice showed up too. Robo Justice? It's Hiro wearing the costume.
Okay.
Anyways, as soon as you can, head to the pool on the second floor. To think Hiro and Kyoko would turn up at the same time. Anyways, I have to head to the pool. I ran off to the second floor as fast as I could. Kyoko and...
I mean...
Phew, man. I had the worst day. Hiro? Hiro. Hey, yeah, dude. Who else would it be? That's a good question. Huh? What? Why do I look like this? Look, did someone else come along and remodel me while I was sleeping? Was it the Illuminati? Possible. Possible. Robo Justice finally made his appearance, huh? I guess Kyoko's the one that found him.
Right.
I found Hiro. He was jammed into the pool locker. It looked like he was fast asleep, so I kicked him and he woke up.
Don't be mean.
I still can't believe you kicked me. You could have been a little more gentler about it. Like, I don't know, caress my face or something?
What?
That's creepy. Anyways, Kyoko, where have you been all this time? You just disappeared all of a sudden without a trace.
Wow.
There was something I had to check up on. What do you mean? Never mind. I can't... Never mind.
Nothing.
Never mind.
Hey,
More importantly, she says that, but does she have any idea? Does she know people think she might be spying for the mastermind?
and?
First of all, Hiro, you need to explain to us why you're dressed like that.
I mean...
Oh, I have no idea. One second I was sleeping, don't even know how that happened, then I woke up and then I was here. I don't care. Do something about the costume, it pains me to look at you. Well, I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself?
Got it all wrong.
I didn't make this stupid frickin' thing.
It would seem...
There are clasps on the back that are keeping you from getting it off. It's pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice, but let's help him. It looks like everyone helped, but slowly we were able to get Hiro out of the suit. It took everyone's help, but yeah. It took a few minutes, but eventually we got it all to pieces. Free at last. Isn't it kind of weird how perfectly the suit fits Hiro?
So
More to the
then-
point, nobody but Hiro would be able to wear the costume. Wait, what? Hold on a sec.
Honestly,
Don't bother trying to act innocent. The blueprints were in your room as well.
is that okay?
In other words, it's obvious to everyone that you made the costume. That's true. I saw the blueprints myself. Yeah, me too.
Could it
Then it's
be-
obvious. The one who put the costume on and went around attacking everyone
That's terrible.
was Hiro. Shall we tie him up and gag him?
Just the worst.
Good idea. We wouldn't wind up killing anyone else. Tie me up? Hold on, guys. I think that's going a little far.
That's right.
He may be a suspect, but he deserves a fair treatment. Yeah, I mean, attacking blueprints? I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
What the heck?
You can't talk your way out of this. It's been decided. You killed them. What? Killed who? I have no idea what you're talking about. There must be a fake hero running around.
What are you saying?
You're the only one who could wear the costume. So who else could possibly be the costume attack? Who else used the costume to attack? How do you know I'm the only one? Maybe you should try it on yourself before you convict me.
Okay.
Fine. If you're gonna be a jerk about it, I will. Without missing a beat, Hina started putting on the Robo Justice costume.
Huh. See? Look. See how loose it is? I mean, come on. I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me.
And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. See,
That's not a very nice thing to say. I mean, it's not like I made it. I just got caught up in the moment.
well, either way, now we know for sure, right? I mean, it seems pretty clear that nobody but Hiro could have fit into this dumb costume.
In a huff, Hina took the suit back off again.
Ah.
Well, now you're out of excuses. No, see, it's because you're a girl. If it was another guy, then... Makoto, go ahead. Oh, okay. Against my will, I picked up the pieces off the floor and tried putting them on. It's no good. The arms are too big. There's no way I could wear this.
Just a second.
See, I told you it was impossible. You're absolutely right. It seems this costume was made to fit Hiro's body exactly.
But
There's another costume. They must have one that looks the same, but fits them.
Honestly.
If you insist on this line of defense, then show us some evidence.
what the heck?
Evidence? You claim there is another suit, yes? Then you must find it and show it to us. Well, what the heck?
Just the worst.
Who cares? Hiro's the only one who without an alibi during the whole thing anyways.
That's terrible.
Which is how we know it's him. I mean, is that really true? I have no idea what's been happening. Could someone, like, tell me? Sure, I'll tell you.
What the heck?
If you don't tell me what's going on, how am I supposed to understand? I think I figured out that someone's been killed, right? Hey, Makoto, who was it? Well, 2 people were killed. Taka and Hifumi. What? 2 people?
Just the worst.
Why are you freaking out? You did it. I did not. Wait, hold on. If those 2 are the ones who were killed, that's it. I know who did it.
So then,
You may as well tell us then. Taka and Fumi were fighting over alter ego, right?
I'm at least
Which means
30%
alter
right.
ego and or Chihiro must have done it.
correct.
I see. That's unfortunate. Aw, how unfortunate. Stop trying to trick us. Just admit that you did it, okay? I'm telling you, you got it all wrong.
Oh, so
I know that note. No. Last night, someone slipped a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole, maybe we can use it to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet up in the rec room at 1 a.m. But the last thing I remember is going to the rec room and then for some reason I fell asleep.
Hey.
The real killer probably drugged me or something.
Just the worst.
Not a chance.
So...
No, hold on. We could be onto something. The nurse's office did have a chemical that could do that. What, really? I told you, someone's trying to set me up. A secret passage, a chance to escape, someone wrote all that to trick me. Even if that's true, you must be one dumb fish to bite every piece of bait that floats in front of you. Well, after being trapped here for so long, even if you know it's a lie, you still gotta check, right? Yeah, they pried on my desires to get out of here. They deceived me. I still don't buy it.
Don't be mean.
Well, you should buy it.
Just a second.
Okay, then show us that note. Well, with pleasure. I have it right here in my, pocket.
No
Looks
way.
like I lost it. Yeah, sure. But please, you gotta believe me. I wouldn't hurt a fly. As I said before, if you want us to believe you, most must produce evidence. Can you show us the note? I have no particular issue with what you claim, but if you want us to believe you, give us a reason. What the heck? For serious? Now then, shall we resume our investigation? There's no time to waste before the class trial begins. Why do we need to keep investigating? We already know who did it.
What the heck?
Why did you kill them? Tell us, Hiro. No, it's like I said.
Just the worst.
Was it really to get the money Monokuma offered us? Yeah, that must be it. You must be totally broke, and that's why. Well, wait, that's a false accusation. Someone help me.
What are you saying?
Just be thankful we haven't bound and gagged you. If you have time to yell and carry on, you have time to search for your evidence, right? You're right. I need to look for the second suit and that note. Feet, don't fail me now. I guess I better get back to guard duty. I was gonna ask Toko or Genocide Jack to switch with me, but if she and Sakura got into a fight, we'd have a catastrophe on our hands. Well, bye. One by one, everyone peeled away.
Makoto.
Makoto, do you have a second? Huh? I want you to help me with the investigation. It looks like I got a late start on this one, so I need to make up on some ground. Sure, I don't mind helping, but can you promise me something? Later, when we have time, will you tell me why you disappeared?
Why is that?
No. You reject me so simply.
Anyway,
Anyways, I need your help. You don't mind, do you? Okay.
shall we go?
Thanks. Now then, shall we?
Hey,
So, Makoto, first, I'd like to examine the corpses. Examine the corpses? I can't believe I'm hearing that from the girl at the same age as me.
correct.
Dead bodies don't lie, you know. They tell the truth far more easily than the living.
Hey,
Wouldn't you agree? Now, how am I supposed to answer?
anyway,
Anyways, we have to hurry before the class trial begins. Yeah, you're right. Okay then, show me where the bodies are. They're in the repository. Then I guess we should head that way for now. We're on the wrong floor then. Why couldn't it just bring me there like it has done doing this whole case? Where's the stairs? Especially since I always get lost. Ah, there they are. And we're there. Okay, Kyoko, do your stuff. Ufumi and Taka. For a moment, Kyoko seemed to get rigored, but only for a moment.
so then,
Well then, let's get started. She crouched down next to Taka and without hesitation began poking and prodding their bodies.
I knew it.
The Monokuma file was right. They were killed using a similar weapon. Her movements were so smooth, she was so calm. Seeing how comfortable she was actually made me feel a little more comfortable. Taka was killed by a blow to the head. He must have been struck with Justice Hammer 4, which was lying on the floor in the equipment room. And there's a tarp laid underneath his body. The killer must... Yes, we've already been through this. Do I have to talk to her then?
I see.
Makoto, I found something. You did? You remember the wristwatch Taka always wore on his left hand? He did?
Whew.
Are you so oblivious to the people around you? Do you dislike other people that much? No, that's not it. Anyways, so you said he had a watch?
So then,
Take a look. It's broken. You can see the hands aren't moving, right? It's most likely broke when he has encountered his assailant. And if you notice, the hands are frozen just past 6 o'clock. So that would mean the watch was broken sometime after 6.
that's right.
But last night, Taka's watch definitely wasn't broken. Hey, you, how long were you gonna keep us waiting? Taka irritatedly voice pierced the air as he started pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know, that bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
In other words,
So, if it worked at 10 p.m. last night, it couldn't have been broken at 6 p.m., meaning it must have happened at 6 this morning.
however,
And that's not all. Look at Taka's left hand. He appears to be gripping something. That's right, there's something white in there.
Makoto,
Can you try to pry it out? Me?
because
Rigor mortis has already set in. Boys are better suited for this kind of manual labor, right? Okay. As much as I didn't want to, I grasped Taka's cold hand. The ice-cold hand was nearly enough to cause my heart to stop beating. After some effort, I was finally able to free the object from his tightly clutched fist. A piece of paper. Was that all he had in his hand? Yeah, that's it. Just a scrap little piece of paper. Doesn't seem like much of a clue, does it?
is that right?
I wonder about that. Kyoko then turned to Hifumi's body.
So then-
Let's check Hifumi's body now. Perhaps he left us a few clues of his own. Are you gonna check it or am I gonna check it? So did you find
Indeed.
anything? I did. More than I expected, to be honest. Look at this. A wad of paper.
That's right.
Hifumi had it hidden on him. Hidden.
Indeed.
He stuffed it in his pants, so I can only assume he's hiding it on purpose, you see. In his pants? Wait, so you...
Why is that?
It was just his pants, not like his socks or something. I don't know what that means.
Hey,
Anyways, take a look at the paper. Go ahead, Makoto, open it up. When I think of how it was stuffed down his pants, it's like, it better be important, Hifumi, or I'll never forgive you for this. A note. I found a hole, maybe we can use it to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
so...
That sounds very familiar. That's it. It's the same thing Hiro said. Then he was telling us the truth.
However-
Although, it's not exactly the same, is it? Last night, someone slipped a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole, maybe we can use it to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m. The time is different. Hiro told us the note said he'd meet him at 1 a.m. But the note that he wrote to Hifumi asked him to meet at 6 a.m.
Is that right?
Hold on a second. Just because Hifumi had the note doesn't mean it was meant for him. Huh?
So...
Part of it has been torn off, right? I think there's likely some meaning behind it. There's some meaning to the part being ripped off. Could you maybe explain it a little more? Think carefully.
Hey,
Why would he have been clutching that scrap of paper so tightly? I have no idea.
so then...
What if it wasn't just a scrap of paper when he was holding it? That's if it was something more important. And how would something important like that become a mere scrap of paper? That's what you need to answer.
Hey,
And while we're at it, I should tell you one other thing. The two victims this time definitely had their e-handbooks on them. So the e-handbooks have nothing to do with how the murder were carried out. Not that there was any reason to think that were connected to the killings in the first place. So you're saying I don't have to think about the handbooks this time, right?
is that right?
If you didn't have to think about them at all, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to mention it. All I said was they weren't used to help carry out the murder. There may come a point, however, where the handbooks may play a role. A handbook may play a role? I don't think I understand. But if Kyoko thinks it's important, I better keep it in mind.
Are you excited? Are you pumped? It's time for the class trial to begin! Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death. And so, with no further ado, everyone please meet at the usual spot. Make your way to the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon!
It's time for punishment
seem-
time. It's unfortunate, but I suppose this is where our investigation comes to an end. You'll have to figure out the rest for yourself and come to the proper conclusion. Yeah, you're right.
Shall we go?
Well, we better get going. Oh, okay. Everyone had heard Monokuno's applications, and then they were gathered in the red elevator. And as soon as we were all there...
Monokuma!
Hello, hello, hello! He multiplied.
Wrong.
Nope, not multiplication. It just looks like that, because it's of an illusion! I'm moving so fast, it only looks like I've multiplied. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma? Can we just get on the elevator already?
Boy!
You're not playing along.
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you. Okay, fine.
Hey! Hey!
Then if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train or elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay then, shall we? Hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet.
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, hero. You're gonna pay for your sins. I told you already, I didn't do it for serious. That reminds me, did you ever find the other costume or the note? Well, no, but how unfortunate. Then it would seem we have our culprit.
Hey,
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
That's right. Let's get down there first. Then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive, and for the two that lost their lives. The one who killed Hifumi and Taka, the one who killed two of our friends. The killer is... someone right here. I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began to walk towards the elevator. Once everyone was aboard, the door closed on their own, and the steel box began to move. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator door slid open. opening up into a cruel fate. When I see all you gathered together like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax.
Just the one.
Only because of you. Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other? What? Do you really hate me so much? But I'm so cute.
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me, of course. I'm gonna start it. I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after the commercial break. I'd never hold out on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats. And so the curtains open once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. I don't think I've got any skills still. Oh, I do have skills. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, whatever, let's go. Let's go.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Gotta do something. Hello.
Now then, to begin with,
We already know who did it.
was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't. Someone knocked me out. I was asleep the whole time. I don't know anything about it.
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know. I don't know.
Is Hiro really the killer, or for anything else, we have to make that clear.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No, just hold on a second.
I mean, looking at the blueprints, that handwriting is awfully musty. If I remember right, Hiro's handwriting is...
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts... they
No,
are all
I don't
proof
want
enough
to... Why did I do
you
that?
are the culprit.
I don't know anything about
I just
that
wanted to
stuff.
shoot it. Why did I do this
It's not
stupid...
true. It's a conspiracy.
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints,
Shoot.
the suit parts, the...
Thank you.
No, it's wrong. Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro is innocent as well.
What?
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
Why do I have to do all the hard work? And of course, he passes it off to me. Exactly. Why are you everyone's punching bag, dude?
So, who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
The suspicious individual in question, the one that must have been in the suit. Well, it was Hiro. We already know it was Hiro. That's pretty obvious.
I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around!
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
The things that were used to move Taka's body, they must have been...
I got it!
There's still one more thing. The things that were used to move... Okay, yeah. It was that and the dollies.
I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room. And then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that up until then was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body, am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong, and nobody expects much from you anyway.
Well, thanks. You're a jerk.
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Wow. Wow, I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean, but maybe I can change your mind. If I can explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository, a new element has been added. No.
You have it wrong.
Oops, I'm hitting the wrong button.
You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you.
Oh, okay. I'm hitting the wrong button.
Wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with
I'm
you.
not doing great.
You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get
Almost.
you nowhere. Do your worst.
Final strike.
I cannot agree.
Okay, shoot it.
This should prove it.
Bloodstain.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
If I look back at how the body was moved, it'll become clear that the person in the suit couldn't have done it? What does he mean by that?
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Come on, Makoto, don't scare me like that. Make me think something's weird is going on.
Shoot!
I need to think. Okay, so I totally missed your data. Try that again.
As we know, Taka was killed and
You gotta look at the... I know it says it can't bend, but I thought that was because of the dolly.
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is
There it
bend
is.
over.
No, that's wrong. You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do you mean? You're the one who wore the suit.
Think back to what you said when we were
Ugh.
all checking out the suit together. Remember?
You're the one who observed that whole thing. I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like pretty obvious oversight. Yeah, that's what you
When
said.
you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
There's absolutely no chance the costume was taken off just to move the body because you can't take it off by yourself.
I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
I don't know what's going on with this thing. But I can't actually take it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make the stupid frickin' thing. There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
Yeah, we figured that out.
Of course I wasn't making it up.
Jeez, pay attention.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
Mm-hmm.
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How did you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Robo Justice, that's what I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hero, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second.
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
Sounds
And
about
as
right
soon as
so
we
far.
split up,
Mm-hmm.
Kyoko went missing.
Yep.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
What's wrong? I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Celeste, what's wrong? That was rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
And then,
Yug! Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
at that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time,
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradiction hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them, no matter what.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
what makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
The Justice Hammers were numbered, but were they really used in that order?
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
No, that's wrong. Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi?
Mm-hmm.
Okay then, let's see the proof.
Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. There's something that relates to what time he must have died. It's his watch. It's his watch. Why do I have to do this? It's his watch. No. Wristwatch. Okay. Nope. Oh, I don't know how to spell watch. Where's the H? Give me the H.
Now I understand. I've got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
Hey, you! How long are you gonna keep us waiting? Taka, irritating voice pierced through the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock. You know that. Be bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night,
That was
then
6
he
this
must have
morning.
been attacked around
Yes,
6
that's
this
obvious.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
Mm-hmm.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Hurrah! Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body. That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now,
For
Kyoko?
now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
We could not have been gone for more than a minute, or two. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It would seem so.
His body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
Huh?
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another... ghost!
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
Yes.
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was still alive, is it really possible? I don't think this has anything to do with him.
Found Hifumi in the nurse's office. There's a chance he was actually still alive.
Maybe.
It is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Oops. I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't listen to me.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still...
No. It is in Hifumi was dead, and you know that surely you heard the body of Hifumi's dead body had been found, and that is why...
Are we really so... Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found him, there's a chance he was actually...
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that surely you heard the body discovery and Hifumi's dead body had been found, and that
No!
is why the
No!
announcement was made.
Are we really... Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Third time's the charm.
Are you saying that when we first... There's a chance he was actually...
No. Hifumi was dead,
And you know that how?
surely you heard the body discovery announcement. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
No, that's wrong.
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Huh?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time. Which means, even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
The second body discovery announcement. The first time it played when we found each other's body in the nurse's office in the equipment room. And the second time was when...
I got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
A body has been discovered.
didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Actually,
Okay then, let's take another look at the events.
please,
surrounding
let's
the
not do
discovery
it.
of his
I
body.
don't need to.
Then it should become
I'm like
clear whether he was really
10 steps
alive or
ahead of you
not.
guys.
This whole thing is pointless.
I agree, Celeste. There must have been proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone. Oh my god. Yes, exactly. Hifumi's glasses.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office.
Mm-hmm.
And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
You're wrong.
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood.
Mm-hmm.
But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
The evidence I found in the trash can in the nurse's office was...
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
Right.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
Oh, Jesus. Hero, keep up.
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see.
Mm-hmm.
Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
Okay.
Figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere! But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! Oh, blood
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
The one who moved Taka's body was...
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked? Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository.
Why?
So,
That I don't
Hifumi
understand.
wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
Okay.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
The thing that Hifumi stole from Taka, could it be...
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
I found a hole, maybe we can use it to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet up in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
Obviously, you just stated it.
The killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been... I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right?
Uh-huh.
So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy! Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right? Oh, yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still, I can't let her get to me.
Huffy had the note, right?
Right.
Then the person it was intended for
Uh-huh.
must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
A 6.
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter!
Yes, it does. Okay.
It has nothing to do with TikTok!
No, it does. I gotta figure out how to switch my bullet, though. I forgot to switch my bullet. No. Oh, there you go.
Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
No.
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Wrong.
No, that's wrong. No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. You've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that.
No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it? Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
Proof that Hifumi stole the note from Taka.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from its death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly, which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive!
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
Well, he kind of woke up after that announcement, but I'll let that slide.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository, so he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together. Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus! Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Poor hero.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. Somehow, I have to find the truth. Make an argument. Yes.
What was used to kill Hifumi?
Thoughtless hammer. I knew that'd be too easy.
Shoot! What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
No.
No, that's wrong. The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
Hold on a moment. Sorry, guys.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but...
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Can we really say there's no chance two people work together on this?
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one, only the one who actually can, assuming the rule holds true, it is simply
That is how the rule was.
But that only really applies. In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that have, even if more than one person, only the one who actually carried out the act, assuming the rule holds true, it is...
No, that's wrong. Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
The effort made to convince us the two murderers were the same, that was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning, which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko's really amazing, although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions and in the end murdered him. In the debates up to now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. Well, the most suspicious person is this girl who just keeps pushing and keeps pushing. She was pushing Hiro like crazy.
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
So I'm the suspicious individual now. I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
You're the ultimate gambler, and your idea of having a straight face is to accuse someone constantly. That's not a good plan.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit brain fat, lazy, worthless
Okay,
goddamn
that's
idiot.
definitely not a poker face you're giving out there either.
Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
What is it that only Hifumi and Celeste had in common?
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and
What a
Hifumi
jerk.
ever laid eyes
You're a
on
tool.
the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
I didn't even notice that.
and when
Okay.
we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us
She
all
was
up to
showing
the
up in all
physics
the
lab,
places. That's true.
it was time for her partner to get to work.
Yeah. Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurses. Oh no, this is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
It was to get us to divide into 2 groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Then why don't we split up into 2 groups? I'll lead the hunting party. That seems much more interesting. Very well, then Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I will leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Bayoko, Byaka, and Sakura.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the 3rd floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead.
I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
And we'll have to stop it here, because I gotta go. So, cliffhanger. So until next time, I'm probably gonna stream a little early tomorrow, only for a couple hours. I know I'm trying to get into a normal routine, but I still have a couple things I have to do in real life, work related, and then it should settle down. But so I'll stream still, just probably be like an hour or two earlier. So hopefully we'll figure out what Celeste was up to, because I am 99.9% sure she is the person we are looking for now. Okay, so until next time, peace out.